A book about our revolution. I would like to encourage everyone who read your book to also read the history of the American Revolution, much of its glorious history having occurred right here in Vermont and nearby. And my contention is that the first American Revolution, which declared that we have the inalienable rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and which gave rise to the United States Constitution and the most successful country in the history of the world, that first American Revolution, my dear fellow Vermonters, gave us everything we need, and that Senator Sanders' reinvention of the word revolution to describe the post-Marxist ideas where government takes over everything and in its infinite wisdom redistributes to everybody else is not revolutionary at all. It's regressionary. The United States of America has fed, housed, clothed in freedom more people than any other country in the history of the world. Senator Sanders' big top-down government control, which he calls revolutionary, has caused more lack, want, suffering, depression, stifling of the human spirit, and death than any other system in the history of the world. And this Venezuelan system is what Senator Sanders wants to bring to the shores of the blessed country of the United States of America. He laughs.
Of course I'd laugh at you.
He's laughing.
You know, what you're doing is echoing your good friend, the president.
I'm not echoing anyone.
Let me finish.
These thoughts come from my mind and my heart.
Really? Well, they echo your...
I don't listen to anybody else.
Excuse me.
These are my thoughts.
Well, they're pretty pathetic thoughts. Because what you are doing is doing what Trump does. You're equating what I have to say with Venezuela, which is a failed economy. Why don't you equate it with what goes on in Denmark and Sweden?
Capitalist systems.
Excuse me, which provides health care to all people as a right, which provides free public education through medical school and graduate school, which has a tax system that is fair and progressive, which emphasizes environmental protection, which has early childhood education, which would be the envy of the world. So please do not give us this nonsense. Vermonters know me a little bit better than that. They know that I do not believe in authoritarianism. In fact, I am fighting right now and running around this country to oppose Republican efforts to suppress the vote, to make it harder for poor people or people of color to vote. I have spent my entire life trying to revitalize democracy, to make this country as democratic and open, as free as possible. So do not equate.
Is that a red light over there?
You've had a red light too. Look, you guys just...
So do not equate what I'm doing with the old Soviet Union or Mao Zedong or Venezuela.
I'll refute your notion that the Scandinavian countries are socialist countries. They got their money, and they get their money by having capitalist systems. They are able to have a bigger welfare system because guess whose military umbrella protects them? Their healthcare system is full of rationing, and they also piggyback the billions of dollars of medical research that's done in this country that enables them to spend less on medical research. So these countries that you love to champion, these Scandinavian countries, they're rock-solid capitalist countries. Furthermore, there's top populations of 5 to 10 million. Norway, North Sea oil, that amount of wealth has given them enough money to feed and house and clothe everybody in their 5 million population. So the Scandinavian model is not the one. The one to compare Senator Sanders' policies to are Cuba and Venezuela and North Korea, because that's where socialism has in fact failed. He loves to rail against authoritarianism and oligarchies as if that's what we have here. We have a president that's elected. We have a Congress that's elected. We have a senator that's elected. You know where you have the authoritarian oligarchies? In the socialist countries where Senator Sanders used to like to champion, like Venezuela, before the people started dumpster diving for dinner. Then he stopped talking about that.
Okay.
That's simply untrue. To sit here and suggest that I am sympathetic to the government of North Korea, which is a brutal dictatorship, which has led its people into starvation and all kinds of horror, is, you should do a little bit better than that.